Have you ever got stuck in the middle of nowhere on the Pacific Ocean on a kayak? Well, I have. So my friend Sarah and I decided to go to Hawaii for our spring break last year since going to Hawaii had always been on our bucket list. So after we made the final decisions and booked all the flight tickets and hotels, and of course, we would make a huge checklist of the things we want to do in Hawaii. And of course, we're gonna go kayak and snorkeling. So Hawaii is mainly content with four islands, sorry. But since BU did not give us enough time to do all four of them, we were only able to go to two of them, Oahu and the Big Island. So Sarah and I did a comparison of these two islands and we decided to do our snorkeling on the Big Island since this is the island that has not been exploited as much, and we just want to see the natural views. So we spent our first 4 amazing days on Oahu, and after we got to the Big Island, we were just like so ready to go kayak and snorkeling. So at first we were thinking just go follow a tourist group because they have arranged everything for us, but like we also looked over a lot of trip tips from the people who have been there, and they just suggested to rent a kayak and all those snorkeling equipments, and you can just do it on your own. So Sarah and I are just like, well, shall we just do this? So we drove to the spot and we rent our kayak and snorkeling equipments, and the guy there told us if you just kayaked 2 hours following this direction, you would get to the greatest snorkeling point. So Sarah and I were like so ready, we're like so confident, like we hopped onto the kayak immediately. We're like, so on the way there, we're like listening to music from Spotify. We're just like enjoying our best lives with the amazing view around us. So after 2 hours kayaking, we finally got to the point and we just hopped right into the water, the ocean. And oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. Like there were so many beautiful fishes that I can name. I cannot name them, but like they were so beautiful and like just amazing views. So Sarah and I were like swimming like the other fishes for about like an hour until we were both very tired, and then got back to the kayak. So on the way back, we were both physically exhausted because like we kayaked 2 hours straight and swam for about an hour. So we were like both very tired and exhausted. And I was trying to put my shirt on since the weather was getting a little bit colder. And my sunglasses at this point was like falling out of my shirt and just like falling into the ocean. And my brain just did not think one more second, and my body just followed my sunglasses into the water. Fortunately, I still had all my equipment on, but like after I realized that I'm in the ocean, and at that moment we already get to the point we did not have all those beautiful views. Instead, like all I can see was like dark, deep, and endless ocean. So like, you know, like all those fears just came to my mind. I was just like shouting to Sarah. I was like, help me out, Sarah, I'm dying, I'm drowning to the ocean. And fortunately, Sarah helped me to get onto the kayak, but I was like miserable. My feet were bleeding from the sea urchin. I mean, like I was like literally like half dead. And by then we were already lost the sense of the directions. Like we literally didn't know where we were at that time. But like after hitting so many wrong directions and got hit by so many reefs, we finally made to the starting point. And I think that day became the day Sarah and I would never ever forgot in our lives. So after we got back to Boston and like our friends were asking, how's your trip in Hawaii? We were like, overall it was a fun trip. It was like a wonderful trip, but like like every time we mention the part about the kayaking, all our friends are like, you guys are so lucky, because if either of you like had accident during that time, I don't think the other one would make it back safely. So if you ask me if I would ever do this again, I probably would say no, I would never do this again. But if you ask me, do I regret about this? Well, I don't think I have ever regretted about this, because this is the day that really bonded me and Sarah together. And more importantly, this is the day that taught me think before you act, because a sunglasses is not worth your whole life.